is about something cool that or things that have been cool that I've picked up from retro gaming. Not pickups as in games per se, but personal items that have sort of touched the heart, if you will. It's to me in retro gaming, it's all about nostalgia. Sort of buying games, sort of going, oh my god, I love that game, and I want to have it in all different platforms and things like that. But there's another there's another side to it, which is more of a personal side, and it's, I don't know, a little bit different. But some of the things I've gotten, I don't want to sound like a braggy fuckwit either. It sounds like I'm sort of bragging, but some of the things that I've got just from being with the website and things like that, and sort of my travels throughout retro gaming, have been pretty freaking cool. First things first, I wanted to show you, we were in touch with Ryuichi Nishizawa. That's right, it's been a long weekend. Who was the creator who worked at Westone for Sega or I should say the creator of the WonderBoy series. WonderBoy, the original side-scroller, as well as like Monsterland, Monster World, all that sort of stuff. The brains behind that and the creator of WonderBoy. We were very fortunate to be in touch with him. We managed to send some stuff away to him to get signed, and we got it back, and that was pretty cool. And yeah, very, very modest, awesome guy. And yeah, WonderBoy was always one of those games, like, it was one of the first, I played it in the arcades. I think the very first time I played WonderBoy was actually at Phillip Island, which is sort of a coastal area in Melbourne, or sort of out of Melbourne I should say. I was on holidays with my parents, and there was a fish and chip shop, and we ordered some fish and chips, and we were waiting for our greasy goodness to be cooked, and lo and behold, right next door to that, I don't know if anyone knows that area, sort of in the 80s, right next to this fish and chip shop, which is right on the corner, there was right next door, there was like this little arcade. All I really remember from that little arcade was there was a lot of teenagers in there smoking cigarettes, and it was quite noisy. And I think I was pretty young at the time, so it was kind of intimidating for me. And I think my dad, who brought me in there, he was just like, look at these punk teenagers, and all I cared about was playing some video games. All I remember, some of the games that they had there was like Double Dragon and Arcade Cab, and the one that I played was WonderBoy. That was the very first time that I played WonderBoy. It's a very simple game, it's a simple sort of platformer, where some of the main land areas have got pretty easy sort of terrain to get through in the earlier levels, but it does get pretty menacing later on. You get your cloud levels and your water levels and your ice levels. Oh, fucking ice levels, man. Any ice levels in games are just arse. If you slide on a platform, it's just hurt, world of hurt. But anyway, so I really sort of clicked with WonderBoy and played WonderBoy in Monsterland later on, I think, which was at first time I played that was at a indoor cricket centre, as we do here in Australia. We have indoor cricket centres, mate. The only reason we went there is because they had arcade machines, one of them being Shinobi, and of course what I'm talking about is good old WonderBoy in Monsterland. Now, I always thought it was a little bit strange just to have an RPG sort of platformer in an arcade format, whereas sort of most of the arcade games that I had played prior were like Moon Patrol and Exvius and things like that, and Exarion. They were mainly just sort of money gobblers, and they didn't have any sort of depth. It was mainly just sort of point pressing and things like that, like Donkey Kong and whatnot. So to play a game like WonderBoy in Monsterland was, yeah, it was completely a different idea. So it was pretty adventurous for Sega at the time. But yeah, so we were in contact with Ryuichi, and we were lucky enough to actually I'll just show you, just reach off camera here. Wow, that's professional. Clear the throat, why not? We're very lucky enough to get these signed as well. Now this is the cover art for the Mark III card for the original WonderBoy. You can see that there, signed by Ryuichi. Which I was really stoked with, because as I said, I sort of want to get this one signed because WonderBoy was the first WonderBoy I played, obviously, and it's still the one that I'm probably most proficient at. Not to sound like a tool, probably do anyway. Who cares? But yeah, I really, it's just simple and it's just fucking awesome. And then I also got this one signed. That's also the Mark III artwork, or the original Japanese artwork for WonderBoy Monsterland, which you can find on the Sega Mark III. You probably, I don't know, the American viewers or anyone in the PAL region that would recognise it as a different cover art. Can't be bothered getting it out somewhere there. But yeah, like to get that back, and like he was really generous as well. Like he sort of sent through. There was a Sega magazine at the time, sort of going over the 30-odd years anniversary of the Sega, and it basically it was a Japanese magazine, so I couldn't read it, but we were just I was really sort of touched. He sort of sent that to me because it was sort of. He knew I was a Sega guy and knew I'd appreciate it, but like in this magazine, it had was a normal sort of Japanese gaming magazine. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me, but in this there was a little insert which was probably about a 20-page sort of Sega a look back, if you will. So it sort of went from, say, the SG-1000 to the Mark II, to the Mark III, to the Master System, to the Mega Drive, to the Saturn 32X, and all that sort of stuff and beyond. It sort of really looked at them. God, I wish I could read Japanese. Would have been really interesting. But yeah, for him to send that as well as I think there was like a little, a couple of like, little postcards and things like that, and like a little character from the Guilty Gear series. Yeah, that was cool to get that in the mail and just go, man, that's from the creator of WonderBoy. Fuck yeah, that's awesome. So yeah. It sounds like, oh, I don't know, I don't want to sound like a wanker. It's like, ooh, I got all this cool stuff, fuck you. But I don't know, I just wanted to, I've had this stuff for about a year now. I didn't want to talk about it prior because it just sounded like I was showing off. But I don't know, I just thought you guys might get a kick out of it. Who knows? Maybe you will, maybe you'll unsubscribe, but who cares? I'm getting a kick out of it, so that's the main thing. So